are uterine fibroids and how common is it? What are the signs and symptoms of these uterine fibroids? What are the treatment or any prevention thing which we can do to prevent the fibroids? So these all things we will discuss today about the uterine fibroid. Uterine fibroid also commonly called in Hindi as बच्चेदानी की रसौली या बच्चेदानी की गांठ. It's very common disease in childbearing age group, and most common age affected is around 16 to 50 years of age group. It's very uncommon below 16 years and after 50 years. It is the incidence of this fibroid or rosoli is around 20 to 60% in Indian population. So, what are around, if you say about 50% of women in childbearing age group suffers from this uterine fibroid. So, what are the risk factors or causes of development of this uterine fibroids? The first and foremost cause is that there are some genetic predisposition of development of this uterine fibroids. That is, if you have a family history of fibroids, like if your mother or sister is having fibroid problem, then you are more prone of developing this uterine fibroids. The second thing is that there is a causative agents known as hormonal disturbances, which leads to development of this uterine fibroid. So, what are the hormonal disturbances? So, in our body there are two hormones. One is estrogen and progesterone. So, when there is the excess of estrogen, it leads to a more risk factor. It's a risk factor for development of fibroid. So, what are the conditions which leads to more of estrogen in the body? That is, if you have early age at menarche, you have more, prolonged use of oral contraceptive pills, or you have, any other. There are some dietary risk factors also, which are a risk factor for fibroid development. So, what type of diet make you more prone for these fibroids? In medical evidence says that diet which is rich in red meat, a diet which contains food of high glycemic index like carbohydrates, alcohol, and this red meat. So these things, the women who consumes this type of diet are more prone for a development of this fibroids. Uh, Obesity is also a risk factor for this fibroids. And if you are taking green fruits and vegetables, then you are protected against these type of diseases. So this is the about diet. The third risk factor, if you take about, if about is that there are some the contraceptive pills I already discussed, that women who take more of contraceptive pills or prolonged contraceptive pills are more prone for developing these fibroids. So, what are these types of fibroids? If we say about in medical literature, there are three type of fibroids. Like this is the uterus. These are the tubes. So fibroids can occur inside the uterus. They can occur outside the uterus, and they can occur inside within the uterine wall. So they are absolutely non-cancerous growth of the uterine walls, and the risk of developing cancer is very less with this disease. So these are the three types of fibroids, and dependingly the symptoms and treatments are different for these type of fibroids. So what are the symptoms of this uterine fibroids? If we say about in two-thirds of the women are asymptomatic. Suppose a woman just go for a routine checkup or ultrasound, and then suddenly she came to know that she is having some fibroids. So in there is no symptoms at all. In few percent of females, they might have a constant pain abdomen, lower pain abdomen, heaviness of abdomen, backache, certain having increased pain during periods also. So these are one of the manifestations of the fibroid. In some other, they can have menstrual problems like increase in the blood loss, increase in the duration of blood loss, more frequent bleeding during menstruation, or again the irregular menstruation also. In another percentage of females, they may have some pregnancy complications like recurrent miscarriages. They may have problem in conceiving also. So these are the symptoms which may have in few percentage of the females. So they can have a varied symptoms ranging from no symptoms to all these symptoms. In very rare type of diseases, they may have some difficult urination, constant difficulty in passing stools, or constant back pain. So these are the symptoms associated with the fibroids. So how can be fibroids be diagnosed? How can we diagnose if we are having fibroids or not? So the first is the symptoms, and second is you can get it done examination by a gynecologist depending upon your symptoms. Third is you can diagnose fibroids by means of ultrasounds, or more commonly, ultrasound is the most common tool which can diagnose fibroid. And in some cases, you might need a MRI also to diagnose the fibroids. In last or not the least, in few percentage of cases, you might require laparoscopy or hysteroscopy to diagnose them and for treating them. So, what are the treatment available for these fibroids? Is the surgery a only option for these fibroids? So, the treatment of fibroids depends upon the patient to patient. Like, what is the symptoms of fibroid? What are the symptom of the patients? What is the age of patient? What are their complaints? And what they require the treatment. If the fibroid is small in size and it is not causing any problem, we normally leave the fibroid as such. If it is causing problem, then we have to treat it. So when we leave the fibroid, we just follow up the patient every 6 months by ultrasound to check whether the fibroid size is growing or not. If the patient is having symptoms or have come to us for some problem, then we have to treat the fibroids. So what are the treatment modalities? At present, we are having two treatment modalities. That is, one is by medicines and second is by surgery. So what are the medicines available for that? In medicines, we have some oral drugs, we have some injections, we have some intrauterine contraceptive device like IUCDs known as Mirena. So when we give these medicines, if the fibroid is small in size and it is in the woman of age group who does not require any pregnancy, then we give medicines to dissolve the fibroid. But the problem with medicine is that if until and unless you will keep on taking medicines, the fibroid gets shrink. But when you leave the medicines, the fibroid will again grow in size. Second thing is that we can give some injections also to suppress the fibroid. And the third thing, we can put some intrauterine contraceptive device like known as Mirena to decrease the fibroid size. So the second option is surgery. When do the patient require surgery? If the fibroid is very large in size, if it is not improved by medicines, if patient is having lot of symptoms, or if fibroid is causing obstruction or causing pregnancy complications or causing infertility, then in these cases we remove the fibroid by surgery. So what are the available options for surgery? We can remove the fibroid only, or we can remove the uterus also. So we can remove the fibroid only by laparoscopy or by open surgery. Nowadays we are doing only laparoscopy to remove the fibroids. If the woman has completed her family, she is more than 45 years of age group, then we counsel the woman and we might take a call that she might get the surgery of removing the uterus as per se. So these are the options which we have for the treatment of fibroids.